Hello, and thank you for listening to Roadshow, a transport topics podcast that brings you insights from the major industry events that are helping shape the future of trucking. In this episode, we're going to take you to Cleveland for the 2022 Technology and Maintenance Council Fall Meeting and Technician Skills Competition. Before we start the conversation, I want to mention that you can also check out my coverage of the event at ttnews.com and in the pages of Transport Topics. If you're not already receiving TT each week, you can subscribe by visiting ttn.ws/TT subscribe. For this episode, I was able to track down Larry Fowler, Maintenance Excellence Manager at Cox Automotive Fleet Services, for a great conversation. He talked about how his techs are faring at the TMC Super Tech skills competition, how they prepared, the tech shortage, and how a third-party maintenance service works with fleets. Let's go to Cleveland to chat with Larry. We are here at the Technology and Maintenance Council Fall Meeting and Skills Competition. We have Larry Fowler, Maintenance Excellent Manager at Cox Automotive Fleet Services. Welcome to the show, Larry.
Michael, thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem. I just want to, just starting off, you are a third-party maintenance service, and we, as you know, we have a technician shortage, and fleets are telling us that they need technicians, and you have a service where you're providing technician service for those particular fleets. You can obtain technician services for your company to provide that services for the fleets that are wanting technicians. How are you able to get those technicians to work for you to provide that particular service in a time where technicians are really, not really available, but are needed desperately?
Technicians are rare right now, and everybody's experiencing shortages. So the first thing we do is we want to be the employer of choice. The Cox, benefit package is second to none. We try to provide a work environment that's enjoyable, and on top of that, we do things like this Top Tech competition and our Super Tech competition, where we recognize excellence within our ranks, and try to give them some of the accolades. So it's about making an inviting environment, because the competition's fierce out there. Fleets are right; they're short of technicians. We're always looking for good technicians. I think everybody's short technicians right now.
So with that, fleets are also, weighing the advantages of, having in-house technicians, versus outsourcing, and there's definitely a relationship that's involved. And just kind of, talk about that and just what it takes to have that particular relationship with the fleet, for the services that need and the services that you provide.
So this is where we can work with the fleets, right? We can provide that flexibility, so that we can backfill some of their service needs on an on-call kind of basis, so they don't have to invest in a technician full-time, long-term, to just fill some workload things. I mean, everybody experiences ups and downs within their workload, and when they're needing help, then we've got technicians that we can move in and help them out. And then if we need to go to the next fleet, then we can do that. And it gives our guys stability, but they're not necessarily going to be working at the same address every day.
And with that, what are some of the things that they want in a third party that you've seen in working with fleets? I mean, where are some of the kind of those points? I mean, is it price, or is it service, or that flexibility? I mean, what types of?
I think it's all the above, but I think the immediate need is what's needed today. If they've got trucks down, their mission is to keep trucks rolling, and so they have to make concessions on occasion to get trucks back up and rolling. So I think that's the biggest driver. After that, the details are the details. Once we get somebody in the door and we get them helped out, then the details kind of take care of themselves.
TMC Super Tech, you have a couple of guys in the competition. How are they feeling? I mean, what have they communicated to you? And just kind of just been a nerve-wracking day. It was the final day was yesterday, but just sort of that the whole day of competing with written tests and just the hands-on. I mean, how have they gone through it, and what are their thoughts if they communicated that to you?
We love this competition. We're continuing to invest in it and get a little better at it every year that we come back. The techs are kind of beginning to know what to expect. We've got some veterans, we've got some new guys here, so The day of the competition, everybody's kind of focused on that. The night after the competition, we'll kind of blow a little steam off. Today is just butterflies and wait until the awards banquet tonight so we can see where everybody kind of landed. So good group of guys. They've taken advantage of some of the training here today and poked their nose into some of the discussions and the meetings. Knowledge is golden, so they all take advantage of it.
In preparing for the TMC competition and just other competitions in general, I mean, what are some of the processes that you go through with your group of guys to get ready for this particular event?
We hold an in-house technician competition where we select who we're sponsoring and sending up to TMC. But other than that, we don't do a lot of in-house training for the technicians that are going to the competition. These guys have already demonstrated their expertise. We sharpen their skills a little bit, but every one of these guys worked Friday and got on a plane Saturday. They're daily technicians out doing their job every day. And so preparation for this is pretty much on their own, but that's the reason why they're here, is because they're investing in themselves.
Well, I mean, since you're quote unquote, boots on the ground when you're in the garage bays with these guys, what are some of the issues that kind of keep you up at night? I mean, just maybe we talked about the technician shortage. I mean, are there other things that you really worry about on that scale to try to remedy?
I think it's the full gamut. Everything from the basics, not with this group of guys, but technicians in general. The basics, we're attracting a new breed of technician, a new generation, if you will, and some of them are needing some training. So for that, we've put together our Fleet Tech Academy, and we have an in-house training program where they can gain those basic skills and be prepared to kind of hit the field with some knowledge, so that they can continue to grow their career. And then when you get up into these guys, it's challenging just to keep up. The industry changes every day. There's new stuff coming out every day, and between the OEs, the aftermarket, it's a challenge for these guys because we're not. We're independent, and so we don't necessarily get the inside scoop on everything. We have to kind of claw our way through and make sure that we get these guys the latest information.
Now, I'm glad you brought that point up, Larry. One of the things I know early in my journalism career, I had covered the right to repair, and just that whole particular issue. I mean, political as it may be, but it seems like it's rearing its ugly head into that tech space.
It's still an issue, absolutely still an issue. I mean, it's come a long way in the last couple of years, but as an independent, we do see, like I say, we have to kind of claw and fight for every piece of knowledge that we get. So it's a challenge to keep our guys up to date. They do a great job of it, and we provide as much support as we can.
Okay, yeah, that's one of the things. That's one of the things that I'm hearing. Just being here in this short time, just that particular issue, just definitely with techs, just kind of having that information to do their job. So
absolutely, and when you're thinking about an independent tech, it's not brand specific or product specific. They have to be really knowledgeable in all aspects of the industry to be able to go out there and be successful every day, because they won't necessarily have the luxury of working on a brand. So they invest in themselves, and we assist as much as we possibly can. We've got a pretty good training program that we're continuing to grow and build. Starting with our Fleet Tech Academy, and rolling out through some continuous improvement training. So that it's a library that will continue to build and grow.
As you mentioned, just sort of the technology that's coming up at a rapid pace, and it's just it's hard to keep up. I mean, that's something that you definitely follow with definitely keep an eye on with the academy. I mean, just some of those particular things.
Absolutely, and the academy's got some advanced programs that they're rolling out, and that they've done a couple of classes with now, and it's definitely more of a new cutting edge type of curriculum It's not the base Fleet Tech Academy curriculum. It's aimed at our super techs, our top techs, our best guys out there.
Do you make a point for the super techs that you have, those guys that have been in it for a while and they know what they're doing? I mean, do you encourage them to help out the younger guys and gals?
Always,
yeah, so.
always. That's part of being that enjoyable place to be is you want to foster a team environment out there where our best are out assisting, fostering, growing, creating more of them in their mold, right? That's what you want.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely. Well, Larry, I know this is a busy day with the conference and everything, so this will be my last question. I can get you out of here and everything. You have your group of techs here, competing in TMC Super Tech. What would be your advice for people in your position with a group of techs who are contemplating competing on that national scale, but that never really got into it, but definitely thinking of getting into it. What would be your advice to get those guys ready to compete?
Focus on the process and make it about the technician. It has to be about this is a celebration of the technician. It's a competition, and some of the companies, the sponsors that bring technicians here are absolutely competitive. It's friendly, but make sure that the technicians are getting treated as royalty, and I think everybody here does.
Most definitely. We've been speaking with Larry Fowler, Maintenance Excellence Manager at Cox Automotive Fleet Services. Larry, it's a pleasure having you on. Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely.
Did you know you can ask Alexa to open Transport Topics? In just 1 minute, you will hear the biggest trucking headlines of that day. Be prepared and start your morning off right with Transport Topics.
As you heard during this podcast, Larry Fowler from Cox Automotive gave us the boots-on-the-ground perspective on what it takes to compete in the TMC Super Tech competition. And for an update, that hard work and preparation paid off as one of his techs, Michael Kerfoot Jr., claimed third place overall in the trailer category. Fowler also gave us a glimpse of his management style that not only encourages techs, but challenges them in order to foster a community of continuous improvement. However, he's well aware of the hurdles of recruitment and retention, and knows that the pathway to success lies with creating the right environment for his techs, as well as his fleet partners. If you'd like to comment on this episode of Roadshow, or any episode of RoadSigns, let us know how we're doing by texting TT Survey to 571-622-0001. That's 571-622-0001. You can also text TT Subscribe to the same number to become an official member of Transport Topics. That number again is 571-622-0001. Roadshow will be back soon to share more insights from future industry trade shows. Until then, I'm Michael Freeze. Thank you for listening.